Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Section 214 of BT Lions podcast. I'm your host, Ascent, and I'm just here with my co-host, Hammer.
So,
Both of us were at the Lions game yesterday, and if it wasn't for the fact that, your tickets were discounted to $9, and I want it,
$9.
I want it for free to raffle, right? So it was kind of like like, okay, if they get blown out here, it's fine. It's like a it pretty much felt like it was close to a blowout loss, right? But
And it could have been a
um,
lot worse than it was, but for our mental state, it wasn't very good. At the end of the game, I was pretty down after the
yeah, even with the
33 to 27
touchdowns,
loss.
yeah, and the score was flattering. Like even with the touchdown that the Lions scored late in the game, it was just I didn't feel anything. Like I just didn't feel any jubilation because I'm already burnt out, right? Of all
Yeah.
how good everybody was playing. But anyways, so I'll just get into before we get into the game. There's three things I want to talk about. I guess the first thing is that after our recording we did after the Elks win, we just wanted to show off these gifts that JF's wife was giving us. Right, they're both the same. Right, they're
Yeah, really nice.
really
I can put some
nice,
more nice.
and yeah,
Yeah.
we're just
No,
gonna be
I it occurred to us that you're seeing our faces after the last episode. Obviously, we had no camera when we met in person, but we had a great time and we shared obviously the gifts for attending their wedding virtually. So it was a really nice gesture from Jacob and his wife. It's good to see them.
absolutely. Yeah, and yeah, but I do want to, segue a little bit of into JS is not here with us this time. I mean, I was planning on having a longer episode today, but unfortunately, due to personal reasons, he won't be joining us for this week. And he was also listening to the game on the radio, and I was, hoping to hear, what the radio guys were saying about this game, like, but yeah, unfortunately, because of personal reasons, he won't be with us today, and we're wishing him all the best for
Yeah,
what's happened. Like
we're
we
gonna
know
keep
what's
that
happened, but yeah, uh,
private. Obviously, I wish him the best. I just wanted to say I saw him at the weekend concert on Tuesday night, and we had a great time.
mm,
He also has a bit of ranting to do about the weekend concert, not about the weekend, but the opener. So we'll save
yeah,
that for the bye
yeah,
week. But for
yeah,
now, yeah, we'll respect his time. He'll come back hopefully next weekend. But yeah, wish him the best.
yeah. Hopefully for the Hamilton game, and hopefully for a win that time. But yeah,
Hmm.
uh, and yeah, the third thing I want to talk about is I'm wearing a Packers hat because it just feels like the Lions have just been owned by prairie teams, and obviously Green Bay, Wisconsin. I consider them a prairie football team themselves too, but
No,
I just felt that this was like a thematic kind of hat to wear. Just
we're both wearing green, or we're both wearing gray because it's gray, boring, because that's how the Lions' performance was in the last game. So.
yeah, I mean, it's pretty much a gut check for this game is what happened to this team after the last game. Like, what was that Elks win a mirage? Right? It felt like it, right? It felt like the Elks wanted to get revenge on us, so they basically replaced all the Lions players with themselves, and that's how they were playing at it for that first half, especially, right? Like,
No.
oh my God, it was a total Freaky Friday kind of moment where it was the total opposite of what we saw from last week, right? And it was just, I have no words to describe how flabbergasted the both of us were seeing like the poor play in person, right? For the most part, there was some like good moments here and there, but it wasn't enough. Right? It was just
No.
unreal.
Being there, being there was deflating. Uh, First game of the year for both of us. Lots of Riders fans there. So it was a
Hmm.
good atmosphere in the stadium, but they started off the game with 17-1 lead, and it could have been a lot worse. But the Riders were really clicking in the first quarter, and boy, like it. it was one of those games where you're just saying like it's over. You're saying that immediately,
I
and
said that after it was like 17-1, right? I felt it was
yeah,
over by then. Like
we
it was,
did our YouTube short at halftime. I wasn't even
yeah,
sure what to say during that because it was a rough quarter to watch, and he didn't really have much optimism. There was one good throw from Rourke, that he escaped the pocket and made a 40-yard throw to Aberhard for a touchdown. But other than that, really, there wasn't much life going in our offense. Um,
there wasn't much life
it's tough, and
in the fans, right? Like except for the
yeah,
Riders fans, they were just like hooting and hollering, and they were just jubilant nearly the entire
I
game, and we're
was,
just sitting there, we're just shaking our heads. All I
yeah,
was doing is I was shaking my head. I'm going, I can't believe I
I was surrounded by them, so it
yeah.
was tough hearing them
Yeah,
cheer.
yeah. For you, it was tougher to be surrounded by like cheering fans. For me, I was just sitting there on my Lions, those Lion fans around me. It was
Yeah,
brutal, right? It was just um
yeah, and I was very down after the game because it's a very important game, and you can't stress enough. I mean, games down the stretch are important, but games early in the year are important. So we've played Winnipeg and Saskatchewan twice. We've lost to them both times. So
yeah,
we've lost the
four
season
times.
series to
So
both teams. Um, that's makes up all four of our losses actually, but it's big. I mean,
yeah, we're
there's
already
that momentum
just
gone that we talked about last week.
yeah, well, yeah. Not only the momentum from the win last week, but also just we're behind the eight ball completely when it comes to just teams that we're likely going to be fighting with for at least third place with Winnipeg.
Mhm.
Uh, and Calgary and Saskatchewan, but it feels like they're going to be far away from us by the
Yeah.
end of the season. Right? It just feels like it. I got bad.
Two
feeling.
horse race now. Complete head start from them.
Yeah, Riders
I
is
feel
going to
like
be
we're racing with the East now.
yeah, we're racing with the East in terms of the crossover, but I I just well, I mean, I'll get it. Hopefully, I'll have enough time at the end to talk about the other games. But yeah, there's just finished watching the Hamilton Ottawa game before recording this, so
Yeah,
that's
next
the
week's
entire
opponent.
yeah, that's our next week's opponent, and it's. I mean, I do feel, and even though this loss was demoralizing, I do feel good about our chances against Hamilton at least. But even though they're just as good of a team as probably most of the teams in the league, but
Yeah.
yeah, I just feel like law of averages would dictate that we do have a decent shot of winning, but we cannot be playing like this in the first half, right?
Oh.
No.
And I do want to say, like, this kind of connects to our thumbnail, but this is a game that severely lowers my expectations for the rest of the season. I tend to be a bit more of the positive guy on the podcast. I do think our offense is a lot better than it's shown. Defense has obviously been rough, and there's no way to hide that. But losing to Winnipeg, losing the season series to them and the Riders already, we're not a top two team, maybe top three team in the West. So it's tough to accept that fact. But I mean,
We're second tier and no
we
right. It's
we are definitely not top tier in the West like we thought we could have been.
no. In fact, I think in the bye week we'll also revisit our standings from before the season just to see how long we are, right? And I, I
Yeah,
mentioned that in the last week's episode. I'll just reiterate that here. So, yeah, I
that'd have been
guess
bad.
well we can just get to the statistics for this loss pretty quickly. I did say that you can read the BC stats, and a lot of it does seem like it does suggest winning football, but it wasn't winning football. It was just near the end, the stats got better, but it was just,
Yeah,
I did,
so
yeah,
I was
yeah,
gonna say
you go
if
for it, yeah.
when I read Rourke's stat line, do you think this is the stat line of a winning quarterback? So Rourke went 27 for 41 for 337 yards with three touchdowns, one interception, averaging 8.2 per throw, longest throw being 40 yards, touchdown to Aberhart, and one rush for 13 yards. Does that look like a winning quarterback's stats? It could be.
Yeah, 9 times out of
Could be
ten,
for sure.
it should
We
be
gave up.
right, but this is just the one game that's just that just says no,
Yeah.
you're not winning.
We gave up
Um,
33 points. Running back, James Butler had a great game last week. This week, 9 carries, 30 yards, no touchdowns, averaging 3.3, longest being
Yeah,
nine.
complete
Also
opposite of
five catches,
like
yeah, of previous weeks. He's been good so far, but kind of been
up
balancing
and
out good
down,
games
right?
with bad games. You want to see a bit more consistency there. Also five catches for 35 yards. Um, Receivers, our boy Aiden Eberhard. So I was really happy to watch not one but two Eberhard touchdowns in person. 6 for 8 for 105 yards, longest being 40. That bomb from Rourke to the end zone where Eberhard danced around a defender. It's so
Mm.
nice to see him emerge as just getting better every game, getting more
Yeah, it's just
targets as well. So we love to see
it's just
that.
a shame. It's just a shame that a great game from Abel was just wasted in an effort like this, right? From on
Yeah.
offense, right? The, just the one bright, really, yeah, the one bright spot in this game. uh,
And
I'd
as
say
we
at least,
talked
right?
about before we started recording, hopefully that doesn't become a trend where we waste good games from Eberhard or other receivers.
No,
Um, Barry Hill, he had another good game, so he's been one of our top receivers this year. 6 for 7, 59 yards, one touchdown, longest being 15, which I'm pretty sure was the touchdown, which was deep in the corner of the end zone. Um, Keon Hatcher, 5 for 7, 58 yards, no touchdowns, 11.6. Leaves Pedersen average, 13 yards longest.
mm.
Um, Javon Katoy went 3 for 5 for 35 yards, averaging 11.7,
He also got injured in
15
this
yards
game
longest,
too, so
and
that's bad news, right? Uh, I
yeah,
hope he's not out
he's
too
been strong
long.
for
If
us
he,
this year.
yeah, it's funny, like the receivers on paper. I mean, they're big guys, they're very physical runners, right? But it just the accuracy with Nathan Work. I mean, like the 27 out of 41, he was so inaccurate in the first half, right? And it was
Oh,
just not putting the receivers, strengths to good use in that, right? And and here's another surprising thing too, like you get to McInnes, right? Like last week, he was like the one guy with only one catch, and he only got the one catch here, but on
oh,
7 targets. Right?
McInnes, yeah, our best receiver last year, one catch on 7 targets for 28 yards. But man, a lot of them were overthrows. I think we'll talk more about that in the game recap because Rourke, yeah, I would say he was inconsistent in the end because he did ultimately have 337 yards. Most of them came in the second half. I don't remember the halftime stats, but he didn't have a good first half.
No,
Um, yeah, and then Poisson, one catch for 17 yards. So that's it for the offense. You really want them to start off the game well. I don't think our first halves have been that good this year.
in the game recap when I rewatched it on when I rewatched the game on the PBO, they were saying that BC's first quarter differential was laughingly right. Uh,
Oof.
well, I'll get to that when we get to the recap. But yeah, like there were stats that TFN kept throwing up about the negative for BC. I went like, I was kind of digging the knife in ineptitude for right. I
Probably
mean,
worse than the
I
league in
appreciate yeah, I
turnover
appreciate
differential
it,
too.
but yeah, turnover differential. Yeah, I appreciate seeing that, but
Yeah,
it's just like so bad.
it is. So moving on to the defense, no sacks and one interception from Kent Jr. No fumbles, no turnover on downs. So damn,
Barely any
very empty.
pressure on Harris.
Barely any. Oh,
Like
D
Saskatchewan's
line.
offensive line was incredible in this game. Like they were,
Oh, they were.
and my
They had
dad said that about him too, right? So, uh,
so many quick drives to begin the game, just plowing through the D line. That was very bad. A lot of throws that just evaded them. Um, so defensive backs, Haladic and all had 7 tackles. Peters and
oh
Edwards
wait,
Cooper had 5 tackles. Uh, rest of the team had less than 4. Special teams, Sean White, 1 for 1 on field goals, 1 for 1 on extra points. So game where his leg wasn't moving. Punter Meyer, 6 punts, averaging 49.1 yards, one inside the 10, but he was all right. Um,
Mhm.
Seven McGee, kind of the topic of last episode. Seven with 7 return
Mhm.
catches on special teams. three punt returns and four kickoff returns for a total of 121 yards on average, 22.8 for kickoffs and 10 for punt returns, and a fumble on kickoff, which is how the game began 10-0.
This is
So yeah,
is
remember we were texting each other after that fumble. We were like, "No, dude!" Like
yeah, I know we were texting ourselves each other a lot during that game like that. I
a lot less in the
well
second half. You'll find out why.
yeah, at least until my battery died on my phone, right? But yeah,
Yeah,
at least I was able to, you know, during the first half I was still able to talk with you about that. But yeah, when that fumble happened, I went, oh man, it doesn't matter in person, and and if we're watching it on TV, like the special teams, it's just I
first.
I I don't know what you can do, right? It's just the fumble was just added insult to injury on how inept it is today. But yeah, that's like
Yeah.
we've said that countless number of times, right? And it's annoying for us to talk about it as much as you guys are gonna
Yes.
hear it from us, right? But it's just
The
um
story of this podcast is being the punt returner. So many
yeah,
episodes.
two. It's gonna be like a year and a half of us doing this podcast very soon. And it's like them, but especially like when is the suffering gonna end? Right? For when are we gonna have confidence in our special teams again this time? Right? Because like we were
Never
treating
see a special teams touchdown.
the last two wins was great. I mean, they were as good as they could possibly be, right? Under the circumstances that they tend to not be that good. But yeah, this was just again, it would in all three phases, just not enough was done, right? And uh, yeah, I'm gonna go into the Saskatchewan stats here, and like, now, this will tell you like how great Saskatchewan played in this game because my and of course I'm the one to talk about Trevor Harris because like
Mm.
my God, he played like he there was a stat that TSM put up where Trevor Harris he's now won 10 straight games against the Lions, 10 straight games against the Tiger Cats, and I'm going, did a cat
Yeah.
like most people's family or something? Because like I have never seen like this amount of domination towards like the two cat teams in the CFL by one guy, right? 20
You said
wins
he was a dog
combined.
person.
But yeah, here he went 23 for 30 for 395 yards, three touchdowns, and an
Yikes.
interception. Right. The
That's
one
winning
interception
quarterback
was
numbers.
yeah, fairly similar to Work, but again, Work was garbage time. Harris he was just on it all game. A 13.2 average per throw, right? So nearly every throw he gave was like almost always the first down, right? Which is insane. Um, and the longest throw was 66 yards too. So yeah, when he threw the long ball when he needed to, it was just money almost every time. It was just extremely
It was
frustrating.
infuriating.
And yeah, then I put Tommy Stevens with like the short yardage guy. He only had 6 carries for 27 yards. His longest one was 50. So yeah, even the backup quarterback, when you do like short yardage, he got 15 yards out of a run, right? It was, oh,
It's more
okay.
insult to injury.
Mhm. And the funny thing is that I thought Saskatchewan's run game was held up decently well, like compared to our last place ranked running defense. I mean, well, that only had 15 carries for 72 yards. He ran for 4.8 on average, like no touchdown, and 50 yards was his longest, including three catches on four targets for 12 yards. And we had a touchdown, but it was like on a passing game. But yeah, running game, it was just, I thought it was neutralized a little more, right, compared to what we usually see. But yeah, and then Kadeem Carey, which was like one of their big free agent signings. I mean, unfortunately, he got injured in this
Yeah, it
game,
was
but he only
rough.
had just the four carries for 12 yards. But yeah, it was rough to
That
see
was a
that
tough
happen to
watch.
him.
We wish
Uh
him the best.
yeah.
That was he was a
But
very
here
tough soldier out there. He didn't get carted off, but yeah.
but here and then the receivers like again though Myers was absolutely going off today. It was
bonkers.
7 catches on like 100% for catching for 132 yards and 2 touchdowns. 18.9 on average and 50 was his longest. So he had the Aberhart game in a win. Right?
It's one of the best stat lines I've seen on this sheet.
Yeah, and MLS, well, he came back from a long-term injury himself from about a month, and he went 2 for 3 for 78 yards, 39. So yeah, 39 average because they only had the 2 catches, but yeah, 66 was the longest. So yeah, he was responsible for the longest throw for Trevor Harris, right? So yeah, he didn't
JJ
have
Abrahart.
much, but yeah, okay, that was more of the Aberhart game, but
Mhm.
uh, and Johnson 6 catches on 8 targets for 77 yards, 2.3, and then Duncan Busby 4 catches on 5 for 67 yards and 60.8 average. Like nearly all of the receivers, well, and Robustelli also had the 1 catch for 29 yards. So basically, all of the receivers averaged more than 10 yards per reception, right? That's
It's
how you
insane.
know how much they were gashing the deep end, the secondary, all the time. Like I have never seen like across the board just more than 10 yards on average, right? Even that Edmonton win, I mean, there was only a few that was like below than that, like, but it was yeah. And then yeah, the defense, I mean, they had an easy time of it too, again. Uh, although they didn't get too much pressure on Rourke, but Rourke was just throwing so many incompletions. But they only got the 1 sack from Baldonado, the 1 INT from Sales late in the game,
Sales from the
one
Lion.
fumble, 0 turnover on downs, and then AJ Allen had the 6 tackles. Jimmy Furman and Roland Milligan Jr. had 5 tackles, and the rest of the team had less than 4. So yeah, it didn't really have to do all that much. I mean, they had like a big lead, and they pretty much were locked in for the majority of the game. There was a little bit of that nervous moment of the garbage time, like again, like both of us had left, right?
I stayed till the end, but
Oh yeah, you stayed to the end, but I
yeah,
left with
that
two
was
minutes to go.
it was
But
so boring at the end of the game, let's be honest.
yeah, and then special teams, Lotto had went 4 for 4 on field goals and 3 for 3 on fourth. So he had a fantastic game. I mean, I remember Riders fans were, on his case about being inconsistent with his kicking game, but this one he was A+, right? Uh, Couch, the punter, he only had the
Ouch.
4 punts. And the thing about these punts, I mean, yes, he averaged 36.5 yards per punt. His longest was 41, but he Saskatchewan's offense was so good. Like Couch only came out to punt for the first punt of the game in on the start of the fourth quarter. Right,
Wow.
like they were puntless for the first 3 quarters of the game, and then yeah, they had to punt.
It's
But it was
actually
just
insane.
the first play of the
I wish
fourth
I didn't
quarter
know
was
that.
their punt. Right, yeah, but I'm sorry. I I I had to watch through like the whole game over, you know, midnight from midnight to about 2 in the morning, right? And it was
Respect you for doing that because I
yeah,
I didn't even want to watch it again. I was very down
I
after the
know.
loss, but
I know, no, I know. Normally, after a loss, I usually don't think about it. I don't want to highlight, but because of this podcast, I have to do my due diligence and do the yeoman's work to suffer through, watching a loss that I just saw in person, right? But yeah, Ugh. And yeah,
dedication.
and then no kick returner, Dre McCray. I actually like that name too. It's a fun rhyming name, but
Gray.
yeah, he replaced Mario Alford. He did okay. He only had the 6 return catches on special teams, 3 punt returns and 3 kickoff returns for a total of 118. He averaged 24 and a half on kickoffs and 14.7 on punt returns and longest 24. So no, did did okay too, but obviously it's hard to fill in the shoes of Mario Alford, but it's just they didn't need those special teams to really like, put the hood on us, right? Um, I guess another point of positivity about this was the penalties were pretty low in this one. Saskatchewan had 6 for 65 and BC had 4 for 35. So cut down on the penalty significantly, but again, it's only like faint praise, right? Like, why not do
It
that?
was less than the 150 2 weeks ago.
That was in a win, right?
Yeah.
So I
Wait.
guess BC had to take like, I guess in order to win, BC had to take so many penalties. Like, okay, that's how you win. Low penalties, you lose, which is like mind-boggling.
It's
It's
cursed.
unfathomable,
So cursed.
unfathomable. Like, it's weird. And I mentioned this was a Freaky Friday game, where like it's like night and day from last week to today. Time of possession, Saskatchewan 35 minutes and 46, and then BC is 24 minutes and 14. But again, garbage time kind of affected that. It really should have been at least 38 minutes for Saskatchewan and like
It
20
looked a
for
lot worse at
BC. But
halftime.
yeah,
Saskatchewan had the ball for so much of the first quarter. Like
so much.
they
Yeah.
were up 10-0 before Rourke even touched the ball.
Hmm. Pretty much, yeah. So yeah, again, I mentioned that I watched through the game. I'm not gonna, I plan to go through like the entire, the amount of notes I written. Like, it's funny. I said I would. I promised to not make this as detailed in the second half, and then I ended up making it like nearly 2 pages worth of notes.
Goodness. Oh,
Yeah,
for your sake, I'll just read it all and eventually.
I know. I'm just kind of it's kind of a habit of mine where I do like to be very detailed with things, right?
Mm.
Because um yeah, let's just go through. Well, the first half I do want to be in detail, but the second half there's only a few things I want to talk about. That second half that really irked me, right? But yeah. So we're getting into game recap. So the first quarter, man, during the broadcast, like they shouted out the watermelon smash, and unfortunately we got smashed by the watermelons themselves, and so yeah, Seven McGee returns. So yeah, BC gets the opening kickoff. So Seven McGee returns it to the 34. There were some back plays by Butler. Butler did two straight running plays for 2 and out. That was the start of the misery to come. Uh, and then for Saskatchewan's opening drive, and I'm putting this in the title, like I'm putting like an Eminem kind of reference in there because he came out to I forgot what the song it was, but it involved like look who's back, tell a friend. I
This
felt that
guy's
was
like a
like an
curse to our
ominous
podcast.
that was an ominous music for him. Like it's basically a meme of this podcast where it's like the Tabahewa loves to try loves to like
Rain down
torture
the
me,
curse
right?
on us.
Yeah, pretty much like when he as I was talking about him, like I was choking a little bit. It was like he was force grabbing me from a distance, and yeah. Um. Anyways, I basically first drive of the game, like there were just multiple long conversions that ended up with Harris gunning a pass to like a wide open Myers on a slant route for the easy touchdown. Like Myers burnt Edwards Cooper and Gary Peters both. They were both like very late to react to the slant route developing, and just Harris took advantage of it, 7-0, right?
That was very quick.
And right as we were reeling from that deep shot touchdown, then McGee takes the next kickoff, and then he fumbled it right into the hands of like a Saskatchewan defender with him Dalkey for instant position at the uh BC 39, right? And with just yeah, it was it
Was
was
every
just
time.
it's the field position, and then yeah, TSN throws up the graphic that Lions are last in the league in turnovers of 10. As Harris throws incomplete on second down on pressure to force Lauder to kick like a long 45-yard field goal, go up 10-0, and then on BC's drive, Meyer booted one into the end zone with a kneel for a Rouge to get to 10-1. I mean, like there was a first down, there, but that was where work got nearly intercepted and forced a
Pretty
punt for the
nice hands.
Rouge, right? And then in the next drive, yeah, again, another great drive from Harris, multiple short yardage plays, and also converting over the middle with a catch for 21 by Busby. Harris is over 100 yards at this point in the first quarter, which is, and then
That's awesome.
And then we'll let catch the check down pass to running into the end zone for a 7 yard touchdown to blow the doors off of us in this quarter, like 17-1. That was when I was
Oh
like, this
man.
game's over.
I'm like, what the hell? At that rate, I just thought they were going to keep scoring touchdowns.
Yeah, pretty much. And then and then well, right when we thought like, okay, 17-1, like they're gonna absolutely want us out of the building. At least in BC's next drive, at least work had a good drive himself, which ended with him escaping a sack in the red zone. Actually, no, it wasn't the red zone. No, it was in the 40-yard
40-yard line.
line. Yeah, he found Aberhart after avoiding the sack for a 40-yard touchdown, and I was surprised that that's actually his first touchdown of the season, right? Because the TSN was saying that, right? So I'm like, okay, yeah,
This guy's an emerging star. More to come.
shorten the lead to 17-8, and I go. I mean, I wasn't showing then, but everybody thought like, okay, we finally got some momentum back, but then um well, yeah. Okay, yeah. There was momentum from that touchdown, and then in the second quarter, Harris had his one blemish in the game. He did get picked off by Kent Jr. in like near the end zone in double coverage because Williams took away basically the inside cut of the receiver. So yeah, stopped it at the BC 4 yard line to stop his pass efficiency, but unfortunately, yeah, BC doesn't do well. I mean, they do enough to get to midfield, but they don't go any further. Um, Yeah, but this was a drive where work overthrew McKinnon like badly into like the vast green expanse, right? And yeah, then on Saskatchewan's next drive, they kicked a field goal to go up 20-8. Um, Next drive, BC does enough to get to they get to the 43 and then they get called for procedure. Uh Actually, no, it was worse with a time count violation. Uh
Nice.
on that on that. But Sean White still makes the field goal with like a harder field goal at 48 yards, but no, shorten the lead to 20-11, which you called the coach score because of the year. Um,
Year, yeah.
and I was hoping for 2017, my coach year, but it was
Mhm.
uh and then yeah, on the Riders' next drive, and they get a field goal to go back up 3 points to end the first half, 23-11. And we thought Stu Shorts were not like really enthused about how this game went, and we don't think we'll come back from
It could have
that.
been much
And
worse. Could have been much
um,
worse.
yeah, we're just about going to be running out of time on our Zoom
Yeah,
session,
recording
but
limit.
yeah, there's only a few things I want to talk about in this second half. Well, for one thing, yeah, first drive of the Riders, like they basically, they got up to 30-11 with a touchdown to Myers wide open again. So Myers had like the two touchdowns wide open, like nobody was covering him, right? And he had like the game of his life in this one, right? And that was like the true it's over moment for every single one of us was cheering for the Lions in that one, right? Uh, and yeah, Myers boat Carter on that touchdown catch as well. So it's like um yeah, so that's the first thing I want to talk about. The second thing is that yeah, BC, did get back into it with a touchdown of their own. Bailey Hill caught a touchdown. Like the pass was barely avoided. The ball barely avoided being like, swatted away by a Saskatchewan defender, but Bailey Hill caught that right. And the touchdown,
Yeah.
get back in it. And
He's come up big for us this year.
yeah, I even yeah. And then the end of the third quarter, I put in all caps like Saskatchewan has forced to punt in the fourth quarter for the first time in the game. All
Of course.
caps, right? I don't put
Stuff you don't
all
want to
caps
see.
notes very often, but only for like big touchdowns. But like this was for Saskatchewan punting, right? And yeah, and then like the two things in the fourth quarter I want to talk about is like Buck Pierce giving up on third and nine. Well, it was third and four, but then the procedure call forced him back to third and nine, and then Buck Pierce decided to still, you know, punt. Like when I
It
thought
was a
that he should have
frustrating
really,
procedure call.
yeah, he still should have gone for it on third and nine because you're down by multiple scores with 7 minutes to go, right? Like why not try it, right? Like
Well, yeah, our touchdown was on 3rd and 4.
Yeah,
So
I know. I get like 3 minutes is forever in the CFL in the end of the fourth, but like I would still try it because I don't trust the defense to stop anything from Saskatchewan. I mean, they did in this fourth quarter, but that was because they let up a lot, right? They really could have blown us out at any point in the game, but it was just yeah. And BC gets like a garbage time touchdown at the end, and it's just yeah, the
Eberhard was player of the
Riders.
game. He was interviewed after the game, but he wasn't too happy because obviously the loss.
Yeah, Aberhart. Yeah, he was not happy, even despite his like personal accolades, right?
Team player.
Basically, the Riders and Trevor Hills continue to dominate PC as badly as Winnipeg does. They won, you know, like they scored 87 points against us total in the past three road trips to BC, and then yeah, basically we failed to take advantage of Winnipeg losing Calgary, which I feared, and
No,
we just remain under 500.
those are the teams. They look at us and they take advantage of us, and that's not
Yeah,
the team we want to be.
and
So it's
yeah,
tough.
it's just it's a very depressing
Not really at the start of the
low
season we envisioned.
after the high we felt after that Edmonton win. But like again, I think that proves that like Edmonton is way worse than we thought they were, right?
Mhm.
uh
Punching bag
so
of the league.
yeah, I mean unfortunately we only have like 2 minutes left in this session. So
No.
I
Be a longer
I'm
episode next weekend.
yeah, longer episode next weekend. I'm not gonna go over the preview and review, but I did say that yes, I do think that we could have a good chance of beating Hamilton only because they won. Right? They beat Ottawa.
Mhm. I
um,
would hope that there's more stuff notable to talk about in the second half because we did skip over a lot, but honestly, it was a complete garbage time game, and we were
yeah,
completely out of it.
yeah. So
We had to save
unfortunately,
our
it's a very
scoring for the first half.
very truncated episode for us. I was hoping for longer rants, but yeah. Um, you might get it next week if they lose again, but I hope not. Like we got to get back to 500, right? So yeah. So you can reach us at our socials in the description, and that's I won't say the well, yeah, I won't say the Gmail account like it's all there. So um yeah. Next week should be a regular length episode, and
Mhm.
yeah, win or lose. I don't know, hope to have,
Go Lions.
we'll hope to have JS back, and yeah,
Win or lose,
you
go
know,
Lions.
go Lions. Yeah, so yeah, that's gonna be it for us today. So yeah, well, see you next week.
See you guys
See
next
you
time.
next. Bye bye.